Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do another episode of Buy or Sell, where I give you 5 cards that I think you should buy at the value they're at, and 5 cards that you should sell or avoid at the current price point. These videos have been pretty popular in the past in NHL 20, so I'm going to try and see if these ones do it throughout 21 to see if it can't help you out and avoid, kind of overspending or not taking advantage of cards when they are at good value in the market. Again, guys, remember, I am partnered with G Fuel now, so if you do purchase from G Fuel, use code NOSLEEVES this weekend to save 30% off. It really helps me out. But let's get into today's buy or sell. We're going to start with the 5 buys today. All right, I want to give you guys a couple of different price ranges. So we'll start with Mathew Barzal, the lit version. This card just came out. The base card was one of the most favorite guy in terms of free-to-play players, the lower 80 overall one. But this 83 version is going for under 10K, and with 88 speed and acceleration with a decent shot in the mid-80s, it's a very, very valuable card for anyone that's looking for a speedy right-handed winger and doesn't have a ton of coins to break the bank with. Next up, we've got the base overall Claude Giroux, 84 overall. The reason why he's so valuable, he's going for about 15K and under. If you can activate Speedster, you've got a 90 overall speed in terms of skating, as well as an 85 wrist shot with that bonus. But the real benefit of Claude Giroux, at least the base version, is the 85 faceoffs. Faceoffs are really hard to come by for free-to-play players early on when you're building teams. Mostly the really talented faceoff players, in terms of their attributes, are icons or master set items, and since you're not going to be able to afford a lot of those, you got to look for the guys that can actually provide you some help that are extremely cheap. And under 15K for this card, if you can activate Speedster, even if you can't, is extremely valuable, no doubt. Next up, we've got the base Matt Duchene. Now, he did get an 84 overall lit version that is extremely great. I have this card on my stack team. It is one of the better left-handed cards in the game. However, the base version is going for an under 15K, and if you can get a card that has 89 skating, or 89 speed, it's just super beneficial. And he's got high enough faceoffs where you can put him on center. I prefer him on the wing. Again, guys, the meta in this game in NHL 21 is all about speedy, fast wingers, guys that can burn down the wing and beat those defenders with the slow turn at the line, and Matt Duchene does that definitely. So a card to watch out for if you are looking to build up your squadron. Again, under 15K for this Matt Duchene. And then we've got the 85 overall Tyler Seguin. He's now dropping just under 30K. And if you can activate Howitzer, which is the best player synergy, you've got a great right-handed card on your hands here. 89 speed, 890 acceleration with the synergy, and a high 90 or high 80 shot, which is the most valuable part about this card. Really, really good. You can put him on center. 79 faceoffs. You kind of want to have over 80, but you can definitely get away with it, especially if you have a lower overall team. But this is a definite value and a really good shooter on the wing for any free-to-play team, or even a decent team. This could be a good 3rd or 4th line right-handed winger option for you. And then finally, the 86 overall lit Erik Karlsson from the new set that just came out. Under 65,000 coins for the best right-handed defenseman in the game currently is definitely of value. When you think about the cost of some of the other ones, whether it be the Chris Chelios from the 86 set, if you're buying him tradable, that's going to cost you like 150 to 200,000 coins, or it's going to cost you 2 icon collectibles to make him, which is worth about 100K. This is the card to go after on right defense, and defense in general, especially if you can activate Howitzer. This card is nuts. I use him. He is the best right-handed defenseman I've got, and absolutely take advantage of that speed. All right, guys, now on to the sells of the episode. So we'll kick things off with the primetime Taylor Hall. Now, I've been waiting for this card since the signing happened, because you knew that Taylor Hall, even the 85 is a great buy, but 90K for this 86 overall card, just not worth it. You can buy Kucherov for less than that. Just not a value that I want to go after. And Light the Lamp, it's just not a very, very good synergy in my opinion. There's far other ones, and Light the Lamp shouldn't be one that you're trying to activate. So he's really just going to kind of be a synergy hole for you. Now, he's a fantastic card, don't get me wrong, just not for 90,000 coins. Like, you could save up another 30 or 40 and get McDavid, who's far better. Just not a big fan of this card. Next up is the 87 grit version of Cam Neely, 6'1", 218. I don't know why, but this card is selling for 80,000 coins, and I can't for the life of me figure it out, other than the cost that it takes to make him. That's the only reason I can see it justify being that expensive. A winger, you really, really need to have speed on the wings in this game, and especially early on, to take advantage of how defense is playing. 82 speed is just not going to get it done, and his shot isn't over 90, so for 80k, like, it just doesn't make sense. I would much rather have Tyler Seguin for, almost 1/3 the cost, so definitely avoid this card. Next up, we've got Martin Brodeur. So I have this card. I bought him for 50k, which apparently was a steal because I needed to activate Distributor. Now, a lot of people are not going to be able to activate this synergy. He isn't playing anything better than Carey Price or Vasilevsky, so that is the first problem. But the fact he's going for 65,000 coins is bananas to me. He is not nearly good and overpowering enough goaltender to spend that much on a goaltender. Even if you're trying to activate Distributor, he shouldn't be your starting goalie. You could get Vasilevsky for much cheaper, has Distributor, and you can get another backup that has it as well. This is a hard avoid, and the only reason I did it was because I wanted to try him out, and you can see the stats down there in Rivals. I mean, 3.63 goals against, an 80% save percentage. Now, I'm in Div 2 and I'm playing, just absolute sweats, and Rivals is, it's goaltending and goals against is based on how you play defense, not your goaltender for the most part, but as you can see, he's nothing crazy. I'd much rather have Carey Price as well if you're just talking about goaltenders and not synergies. Next up is the 90 overall sets in the Lit versus Grit trade-in. So if you go to one of these sets here, so we'll take the Panarin, you can trade in Panarin, a gold collectible, and then a bunch of Lit versus Grit collectibles that you can get from Hut Rush and offline Hut challenges. It'll turn them into a 90 overall. Now, if you made a tradable version of this card with 10 gold collectibles, which is what you should have done, because early on the first event, these cards aren't going to last for forever. You'll get a month, probably 2, out of the master set you make. Only some of them. I mean, Bergeron, I think, will have lasting power, as will Heiskanen. I think Panarin, Wheeler, Suter, and William Nylander aren't going to last in your lineup all that long. And that's not to say they're not good cards. It's just there are already better cards than them in the game. So as more events come out and things like that, it's just going to push them down, so they're not going to be as sought after. So if you're locked in to an untradeable one, that kind of sucks. Now, if you do the untradeable, do not do these 90 overall sets, okay? The one card that I will say out of this set that I would consider it would be Heiskanen, and that's because even if you take Heiskanen's stats out, he's a great card. Like, one of the best, he's the best left-handed defenseman in the game, in my opinion. But when you consider the fact that he's got Distributor and Speedster, those are two of the best synergies you can get, which is why I'm okay with bumping him up to 90 and making him untradeable. If you're going to do that, make sure that you don't spend to do the untradeable set, because you're wasting 2 gold collectibles because you're going to turn him into an untradeable card. So if you are going to do Heiskanen, which is the only one that I could even think about recommending to that, make sure you do the 8 untradeable set in and then do this one as well, because you're wasting 2 gold collectibles if you do it the other way. But in reality, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you're super Hut rich. It's just the only reason why you'd want to have that is just the swag of it having the 90 overall card. All right, and lastly, I am selling any icons that cost almost double their price to make, okay, or cost far more. So we'll take Guy Lafleur, for example. Now, you can buy Guy Lafleur outright. Let's take a look at what his average cost is. 400k to buy him. It costs 5 icon collectibles to make him. If icon collectibles are at a 50k value, okay, that's 250k to make him. Now, obviously, there's some risk, and that is what you're paying for. Guy Lafleur is going to be in this game and a card that you're going to be able to use the entire year, because A, he's already one of the best, and even if you just leave his stats alone, you could probably use him all the way until February, regardless of other new cards that come out. But because of how icons are going to work with silver and gold upgrades, he's going to be relevant the entire year. In my opinion, all icons will be relevant a lot longer. There's no reason, I can understand why you'd want to make sure, because there is a slight chance you don't get Guy Lafleur. But if you do 5, okay, and you don't get him, you get Jean Beliveau. And if you do it one more time and you don't get him again, then I would give up, but then at least you get Patrick Roy or Messier, in my opinion. There's still some options. So that's just one example. If we take, let's see, Howie Morenz here, okay, 86 overall, right? He's going for, we'll see, I bought him because I'm stupid and like to throw tons of coins around. 200k I bought him for, so he's going for 220 right now. You can make his 86 overall sets for 100k in value. Now, again, you might not get him, but there are other options you can choose in the 86 overall set in the midterm. If you don't get him, there are some options. So just don't be buying tradable icons that you could make for significant less, because, again, they are going to be valuable for a lot longer. The only one that I have seen that I kind of don't mind their value on, and I don't know if there's any up, and that's Bobby Clark, because he's going for like 75K. He's 86 overall. He's got a good synergy in Howitzer, and he's already got decent face-offs as well. It's a card that, we'll take a look right here. I've seen him for under 80K, and again, he's got Howitzer, and when you activate that, plus his 87 face-off, that's a pretty sweet buy. But anything else, I'm not buying tradable icons right now, guys. Again, take the risk. You're paying way too much. So, again, just something I thought I'd let you guys know. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. And again, please subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content. Throw the notifications on, that way you don't miss out. And make sure that you're following me on Twitter at NoSleevesGaming. I give you instant updates, whether it's anything going on in the game. So, for example, there's some issues with Hut Rush on PS4. I relay that out into the community. I know that there is an issue. There's also an issue with packs and games crashing and whatnot that I might do a video on, because there is sort of a fix that's fixed it for some people, again, on PlayStation, but we'll see if I can throw that together. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.